Hey, this is DM Allen. Thanks for joining us once again for another week of awesomeness. Let's just get it started.
Last time on Roll with Advantage.
Then all of a sudden, Solar pops out of existence.
We're landing outside of the town, and I take control essentially and start barking orders poorly, with my goal to land the ship near the gate by the trade ward.
Why don't we get started then? So we're gonna start with Tin because Marina's not here today. So Tin spent her 10 days at the Church of Lathander in Waterdeep, and she has been very hard to contact. The only person who's been able to contact her is Manette, and that's to give her the new synchronized ring.
That is among one of the few things that Manette handled during the 10-day is resyncing the rings to new rings. Bond gets a ring back. I've been tinkering on my armor, working on that.
Which armor is it? I mean, it's been like
dragon
3
scale
months
armor.
since. Okay.
That we haven't had much time to actually, devote to it.
You just got 10 days.
I'm halfway done. Need to get a little more widespread
Yes.
with our, stuff.
Gotta go longer range.
Yeah. So that I
Well,
can
that's
have
the
more tinker
shit
time.
for having a really fast mode of travel now. Yeah. The cart was really easy.
Yeah. Well, even in the airship, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that it's quicker than normal, but, that just means we have to travel further.
Yeah, you guys have been puddle jumping.
Gotta go branding in some widespread areas.
Okay,
Spread the good
Omen.
word.
Yes.
I'm gonna go next
Yeah.
because Kyo, meanwhile, he's been obsessed with teleportation ever since he got those leaves of paper and we first started teleporting and all that. And he's working totally counter to Manette's needing more travel time. He learned plane shift and teleport, so we can go a lot further, a lot quicker. And Kyo's been spending most of his time writing back and forth with Spitz and working on getting the Waterdeep chapter of the voice going.
Nice.
And avoiding the man who doesn't want him to plaster the city with his yellow rag. He's also been spending some time with Skinny and Fatso, helping Skinny slim down and get a little quicker, and helping to, build Fatso back up because he's
dangerously light.
Yeah, he's dangerously thin after their ordeal. And he's been spending as much time as he can with Supper because Supper almost died.
Yeah. So, are you hasting Fatso or hasting Skinny so that he can make more food faster for Fatso?
Stuff like that, yeah.
You
Nice.
and Tenuvio, when you were storming the ship, remember all the cash One-Eyed Joe had? Do you confront One-Eyed Joe?
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
When we had the Gremlins episode?
the grabs?
No. I guess we'll let that go.
Okay.
I figured there's probably just some gambling going on, and he's winning amongst the crew.
So trusting.
Yeah, you guys do know that as
no,
well.
he's not getting our money as wages, so.
You guys do know that the crew did a lot of gambling and nights on the town in Everland. So, yeah.
Oh, and I'm checking out all those bottles from that bar.
that you pushed in the bag?
Okay. All right.
Well, Kinian spent about 2 days going around Waterdeep shopping the different alchemist shops with his newfound money that the party does not know about. and has restocked his healing potion supply in his nifty portable hole. He has also been sowing rumors about Slarkrethel and its abilities, including of which, laser beams from its eyes. He's like taking a page from Kyo's irrational fear of owlbears to really talk Slarkrethel up, even though it seemed that when we encountered it, that it teleported running away from us, which has basically bolstered Kinnian's confidence. So I'm talking up the Kraken.
Yeah,
because you know we can beat it.
Because
you want it to seem more impressive.
Exactly, and because with the ship basically landing north of the town in a poor state of repair, Kinnian's basically rallying to basically build a groundswell to convince the open lord that the town should pay for the repairs of our ship.
And that was a featured article in the Waterdeep Voice.
All right.
But for all Slarkrethel's amazing abilities, he has small reproductive organs.
That is true.
True story. I read it somewhere.
And
Only in the Voice.
also during this time, Kinnian has spent some time with rings, perhaps on a undisclosed or unrecorded adventure in what involved hiring a crew to retrieve the treasure from Slarkrethel's lair, receiving an undisclosed amount from that adventure. And I forgot. Oh, also emboldened by the sale of his parapet of wound closure that Manette was so kind to make Kinnian, making him a rich man. Kinnian's attempting to move up a rank within the Zentarum faction.
Okay. During the time that you're spending with rings, you're having a lot of conversations with her just in normal passing, but you start keying in on the sense of worry that she has, that she's very good at hiding, but you're picking up on it. She looks like somebody who is being chased, if that makes sense. Like, she's not physically being chased.
But chased. No.
Yeah. But she's got that sense of worry. Simple things like looking over her shoulder more than usual. Or just being particularly careful when she sits in a tavern, even a tavern that she owns. She sits with her back to the wall, always facing the door, type things like that. She doesn't seem as if she's skittish, but she is definitely on guard, even when she's around you.
So back to I just had another thought.
Yep.
When we get these new rings, can we get a ring for Kyo that does not have the messages and just has the teleportation in it? Because that was his.
So
Kyo can teleport by himself.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it uses her spell slot.
How about a ring with a mute button?
Yes. So that's actually it. So these rings, these are very similar to the original rings. They have an obsidian band on them with flame etched into it, but it's like the badass acid etching, and it's got 2 gems on it, a red gem up top and a green gem down by where the palm would be, and you can use those to mute conversation while still being able to teleport like original. Does anybody remember how much those costed?
I think they were 3 gold each.
3 gold each. I remember them being cheap. I remember the actual expense was the putting the teleportation circle on the ship. So,
It's okay this time because I have plenty of students who are willing to put in their time and effort in one of my classes to make them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So,
There we go.
yeah, I think
Free gold each.
well, let's settle at I think 500 gold pieces. 100 gold pieces for each ring. Yeah, because there's work that needs to be done now because it's breaking the one connection and realigning that connection. So, Minette, while you're being a courier and going around to everybody in the party, finding them in this giant city, you're seeing beta pamphlets of The Voice, and a lot of people are like crumpling them up and throwing them in like the mud and stuff like that. There's no like city trash cans, so littering's a real problem here.
And that's a headline.
And that's a headline. You also need to give me a perception check, Minette.
Haven't been Minette in a while.
Bye-bye, die.
I rolled a 1.
Ooh.
So this guy's
You
gonna
are-
go ahead and
yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah, you are blissfully ignorant. You think people are just reading these things and throwing them away, or not reading them, whatever
That's
the
fine.
case may be. Yep.
I'm not reading them either.
Yeah.
The Voice.
So-
It's not fake news.
That's actually its tagline.
The Voice. It's also not news.
Kinian, it's very apparent to you when you're going into bars, people are giving you different looks. Not like pirate different looks, but like when you sit down, the already normal ring of like people not sitting around you has grown about like 10 feet. Like when you sit down in a bar, 3 tables around you normally are empty. Like people get up and move out of their way to stay away from you. But now it's like 6, 7 tables.
I puff out my chest.
So has he still not washed his armor then?
He's went swimming a couple of times.
I've just got a reputation.
Yes.
I'd consider getting a newer, fancier hat because of this.
Okay. What would Bond be doing?
Okay. Across 10 day, Bon stays on the ship. He goes into his room after returning from being arrested and having his ring stolen.
Stolen?
Stolen.
You took it off.
And then Rings stole it.
Truth.
He goes into his room and he bars the door, and he stays there for the whole 10 day. Jesus Christ!
You'll go blind again.
That's what happened the first time.
Oh, God.
Iver tried to warn you.
Oh.
Wow, guys. This isn't the druggie. Okay, this is.
Yeah.
We weren't saying you were doing drugs.
It's a lonely life as a street urchin.
This is the sorriest guy. Okay. So what's interesting is Bond doesn't come out for meals or water. When the crew comes by his room, which would happen on occasion, I would assume.
Yeah, it's fairly regular.
Yeah. They don't hear anything inside his room. It's just quiet, and when they bang on the door, no response.
How many days does this go by?
10.
Oh, so the entire 10 days?
The entire 10 days.
Okay, so probably about day 7, someone attempts to pick the door, try to unbar it.
Akio tries to let him know it's okay, that Bond's just going through his chrysalis, and he's going to come out with even more beautiful wings.
You see little Robbie, and he has this really long, like, Bowie knife, and he's trying to, like, pull up whatever bar is in there. And Keo, when you walk by, he's like, "Hey, I don't think he's in there anymore. Can I have his room? I've been sniffing it for like the last day or two, and I mean, nothing. It doesn't smell like it's rotted. Do you think he ran away?"
Keo gives a shrug and says, "Well, if he's not using it."
You're a pretty powerful wizard. You want to open the door?
Keo casts teleport.
All right.
You go into the room?
Yeah. I think it's a familiar enough place. I should be able to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm showing off. And I do some prestidigitation to make some, like, flames and smoke.
Yeah. So, like, all Robbie sees is, like, this ninja flashbang flame that comes up, like, is it an obsidian flame that you disappear from?
Does it leave like a golden dragon behind?
Sounds
Just
good.
super
Yes.
ostentatious.
Inside Bond's room, you see 6 demons. No, I'm just kidding. It's just Bond sitting there, cross-legged, meditating.
I wave my hand in front of him, and then when he doesn't react, I slowly open up the door and close it behind me, trying to be quiet. It goes, and then I tell the sailor, Bond needs a little alone time.
Robbie is like, oh, okay. And he, like, kind of brushes his palms on his hips, and he runs away.
Minette, when do you deliver the rings?
Now.
Whenever they're done.
Yeah. They'll be done at the...
If your door's
Yeah,
locked,
someday.
I'm not going to try and come in. I'll just hold on to your ring.
All right.
Until...
I'll hold on to it.
Hell no. You got a bracelet, not a ring.
You get a safety bracelet.
That's a smart move, honestly. Rings would take it from me if it was a ring.
That's actually a really smart move. Yes. Kinian gets a friendship bracelet.
Is it one of those that like you slap it on your arm and it curls around it like 80s style?
And attaches there forever.
Okay.
Oh.
So forever, that's like 4 years, 5.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Who was it that tried to get into my room?
Robbie.
All right.
Little Robbie.
He's dead now.
On the 10th day, Bond exits his room. Robbie, for the sake of story, is nearby, and what he sees is a taller Bond.
Holy crap, he wasn't lying.
Bond has changed slightly. Where he was once unsure, he is now certain. He stands taller, more confident. He does not have any illusion on himself anymore. It's just his normal self. His head is perfectly shaven, where before, for his disguise, it was bristly and...
Hastily shaven.
Yeah, hastily shaven.
Are you like the Mr. Clean type of handsome?
Yeah. It's so void of hair that it's shiny and bright. And as little Robbie stands over there and exclaims in shock, seeing Bond come out, Bond opens his eyes and reveals that his eyes now glow with a fervor. Where before it was maybe just a trick of the light, it is now, without a doubt, a light coming from his eyes. Even in bright sunlight, Bond's eyes glow heavily. I
swear I wasn't trying to take your room. And he just runs up the stairs.
Bond walks with confidence, assured that the steps he makes in this world are the right ones. where before he was a good person but somewhat indifferent about being effective. Now he strides with purpose. For game mechanic, I'm changing his alignment to neutral good from chaotic good.
Okay. Sweet.
And he will no longer hide his appearance.
Yay, more neutrals.
Yeah. So, Manette eventually makes his way around to everybody to get them the new apparatus for teleporting to the ship. Is it safe to say you guys fixed the ship in the 10 days? Are you guys dumping money into that or no?
I'm not putting any money into it.
Okay.
I'm basically
Waterdeep's foot in the bill, right?
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to attempt
That's
to
right.
make Waterdeep pay for my ship
Okay.
because
So no, the ship does not get fixed at all.
I was accosted
Oh, it gets fixed a little bit.
within the bay. Not to mention, the fact that I drove it onto a rock. I was accosted by a kraken within the city's waters,
Okay.
and I drove it off with my merry band of adventurers, and I should be rewarded.
There's a new class at Blackstaff Academy about shipbuilding.
Interns,
That's awesome.
all the unseen
Nice.
servants slowly working on the ship.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the research assistants and I are sitting around sipping tea.
Okay. So over those 10 days, something that's extremely apparent to everyone is when you're out and about in the town, people are a lot more hostile towards you. People just generally don't like you guys, it seems. Either it's people who are scared of you, or people who are angry at you. There's some people that will shout curses at a distance in heavily crowded areas. You get the feeling that even though the law in this town has allowed you guys pardon from the laws that were broken, the city, the people in the city have not, and they don't necessarily agree with those choices. It's on the 10th day that this kind of peaks to a unreasonable level. People have now mustered, and a lot of people have circled your ship north of town. They've got pitchforks and torches and stuff like that, and they're all standing out there. And you all are at the ship at this time, and you see them coming out the gate towards the ship, and they attempt to make a circle around the ship. Is there anything that you guys want to do while this is happening?
I hastily grab the alchemist jug and I tell them, "Don't worry, there's plenty of mayonnaise for all the sandwiches."
And this one guy up front who's like walking forward, he's like, "What?
You came for a picnic, right?
No, No." He says, "No, you lot are gonna stand trial, like you should have.
What?
You broke laws." And a bunch of people are rabble, 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 here, all through this giant crowd.
We also saved the town, so...
And what are these laws that we broke?
Murder?
I shout from the the deck of the ship. I haven't broken any of your laws. I don't know about this lot, but please step away from my ship. As I look, we're not even on water or anything.
No,
It's like
you're
landed on the
dry
ground.
docked.
Yeah.
Yep. They say you're guilty by association.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
It means a big fuck
Big
you.
fuck you. They say we could do this here or at Castle Waterdeep.
Can we do it in Neverwinter? That's a nice town.
No.
I stretch my right arm and stretch my left arm and actually jump off the ship,
Okay.
landing in front of them.
Okay.
And
Like a big bubble starts forming around to get away from you. I mean, these are all common folk.
Yeah.
These are none of the guards are out here. There's guards up on the walls watching this go down, but this is all common folk.
and I don't have any weapons drawn. They're all in my
Right.
quiver.
Yep.
But what is it then? Is it trial by combat?
One of the people wait, is it trial by combat? No, fuck no, it's not trial. No, they're just going on trial.
I pull out documents. I say, I have diplomatic immunity, and at first I pull out Bond's wanted poster for the sculptor, and I quickly stuff that away. And then I pull out my my Emerald Enclave passport that guarantees me safe passage to Shadow Top Cathedral.
Okay. All right. Then they say, well, if you're not gonna come with us, I guess we'll do this here.
Bond steps forward then. Straight from his room, he comes up, sees what's going on, hops off. He says, I'll come with you. Just first, though, whose authority are you guys acting under?
The authority of Waterdeep, the citizens of Waterdeep. Our laws have failed us, or those who enforce it have failed us.
So what kind of... should we be found guilty, what kind of punishments are you guys willing to enact against us?
Well, for start, prison sentences.
I mean, I'd be happy to settle on some community service, clean up the city, help those who need it. I think, because this is the citizens of Waterdeep who have these grievances against us, it only seems right that the punishment given down is community service.
Now I'm going to bargain and ask them if I can have an underground cell.
So you're admitting guilty?
No, it's just Waterdeep rent is very expensive.
The rent. He's right, the rent is too damn high.
That's the true crime in this town.
We're gonna turn this around, right?
Yes.
We're just gonna suddenly run for one of the Masked Lord positions.
Yeah. Kinian for Masked Lord.
Kinian
A
is...
Masked Lord you can recognize.
Kinian's like, you guys, you're fools. We've saved the town, and we'll save it again. And by the time this is over, you're fixing my ship. And I actually just start walking toward the gate, like parting the waters, walking right through the commoners.
Yeah, even if we have to do it from a prison cell.
I'm like, I didn't commit any crime. I'm not that stupid. I know Waterdeep.
As you're walking through the crowd, and I mean, people out of fear are just moving out of your way. One really old guy, kind of hobbles up in front of the ship. In the distance behind the guy, you can see Kinian just kind of walking away. And he pulls out this parchment, this roll of parchment. And when he opens it, it just drops to the ground. And he says, you all have been found to have allegedly committed crimes against the city. Bon, you've committed 2 counts of the 4th plaint. 1 count of burglary, 1 count of arson or act of terror. You have 12 counts of 2nd plaint, 12 counts of murder. You have 3 counts of 1st plaint, 2 counts of murder of a lord or lady of Waterdeep, and 1 count of arson against the city of Waterdeep. And he, moves his way down the scroll. Says, Keo, you have 12 counts of murder.
Wait.
1 count of murder of a lord or lady of Waterdeep. And 1 count of arson against the city of Waterdeep.
The only lords and ladies of Waterdeep I killed were already dead.
I mean, he's at this point, he moves the scroll away from his face so he can face you, and he's got an eyebrow lifted at this point.
I pull out a bag of... I had some vampire dust, if I remember right.
Yeah.
See, it's right here.
What is that?
Vampire dust.
You've killed vampires?
Yeah.
Your city was overrun with them. Some lord of the city was a vampire. That's who you're accusing us of murder of.
No, that can't be true. And a murmur moves through the people. And,
we did a full expose
and
in the voice.
10% of the commoners have vampire bites on their necks. What?
No.
They'd be dead. They're in the sun now.
From the very back of the pack.
I continue, and I should let you know that I didn't fly, my broom flew.
How many counts of littering does he have?
Oh my god. They don't know he's behind it yet.
Okay. They're gonna find out.
You hear a very strong female voice that comes over the murmur, and it says, it's true. I can vouch for them. Kenny, and you're walking right towards this voice that you hear at the very back.
Those mean vampires almost broke my drift globe.
The whole crowd parts, and you see a very old-ish looking woman. Minette, you know her to be Lariel. Is that how you pronounce it? Lariel?
Go with it. Just go.
Anyways, Lariel. And she says, as the open Lord of Waterdeep, I commanded this crew as temporary members of Force Grey to take on the vampire scourge here. All the damages that they incurred were under the sanctions of the city. Everybody kind of starts hushing a little bit.
Kinian scowls when she suggests that we're temporary members of Force Grey. I don't want to be associated. I want to do business with them, but I don't want to be...
Right.
That's undermining, my criminal proceedings, known to associate with the fuzz.
The group kind of takes it at face value. I mean, she's got a lot of clout.
It's good to have friends in high places.
Yeah. You, Kinian, you hear, not too far away from you, you hear a voice, starting to circulate through the crowd. Do you really think, do you think she should be making those calls? Yeah, who is she to make those calls? And people are starting to rabble around this area. One of the humans says, why should we even continue to give you power to make these calls? This destroyed a very large section of the city. And this debate starts boiling upward, and you hear that voice moving slowly around.
Does it sound like a gnome?
Yeah, it sounds like the Viper.
I haven't been drinking yet this morning, so
a little shaky.
I don't know how on Kinian is, but obviously I as a player picked it up. But does Kinian pick up the fact that it's the Viper's voice?
Give me a wisdom insight.
6. I have
6?
no idea.
I mean, the voice sounds familiar, but putting that together, I don't think it would occur to Kinian at this moment. But it does sound like the Viper. I mean, your blood would probably start to pump a little harder just because you think it might be him, but you have no reason to believe he would be here.
Okay.
Sure wish we had our cleric here that class calm emotion. That'd be great.
This actually starts becoming like a argument at the dinner table type situation where your crew is actually kind of stuck between this argument, and it's a lot of back and forth bickering, and eventually things start to calm down, but not. It's not as if there was a resolution. It's more as the people have been beaten down, right? So Lariel has enforced her power as an open lord, as a definite say in matters, and you get the feeling that this isn't the last you'll hear from these people, but they're done arguing at this point.
Perfect. That's all we need.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Roll with Advantage. I'm DM Allen. This is Season 2, Episode 41. I want to say thank you so much to our listeners. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. And if you're new to the show, welcome. We hope you enjoy what we're putting out. If you are, go check us out on Twitter or on Facebook. We have a very fun community. On Twitter, it's at DM's Table, and on Facebook, it's at the DM's Table. We're doing all sorts of fun little things out there, so go check us out. Also, don't forget to leave a comment or a review. That makes a huge difference for us, and it really doesn't take long to do. One last bit of notes before we get to this week's sponsor. Grand Con is coming up. Grand Con is a Grand Rapids, Michigan board game convention, and we are going to be there. We really hope to see our listeners there as well. So hit us up, check us out on Twitter to see where we're at, and maybe we'll see you there. That's going to be Friday, August 30th to Sunday, September 1st. And now, let's talk about this week's sponsor.
We love all things audio here at Roll with Advantage, but when the podcasts are done and your fantasy bug is a-itching, turn to Audible. Audible is Amazon's audiobook platform and features hundreds of thousands of audiobooks, including some books you can't listen to anywhere else. I personally listen to Audible on my Android phone whenever I am driving in my car or mowing my lawn. To get started, go to audibletrial.com/RWA for a free book. I suggest listening to The Tome of Bill by Rick Gualtieri. The Tome of Bill is a light-hearted story full of humor, sick dad jokes, plenty of shenanigans, and a zombie apocalypse. Find out if Bill's sense of humor is enough to fend off hordes of zombies, raiders, and maybe some supernatural ancient beings by listening to The Tome of Bill today.
All right, thanks, Adam. Now, let's talk about Incompetech. Incompetech.com has been with us from the start. They are absolutely fantastic. Kevin does a really great job with all of his scores. You need to check out what he's been doing over there and go listen to these scores. I love listening to them when I'm listening to our podcasts. I like listening to them when I'm prepping for sessions. It really helps me get in the D&D mindset. So go check them out. And how about we do a sample now? All right, like I said, that's Incompetech.com, and go ahead and check them out. That's all I've got for you guys this week, so go ahead and continue enjoying the episode, and we'll see you out on the internet. Bye, guys. So So what do you want to do after this? After this entire situation, everybody's dispersed. All the grass has been disrupted thoroughly from all the feet and the torches that have been put out.
I thank Lariel, if she's around, and say that was very timely. We appreciate your assistance with that.
She says, "Mum's the word on the whole temporary invite thing. That even though it's not true, it's a necessary truth. If you get what I'm saying."
Sure.
I think somebody's vying for my job as Open Lord, and these situations have been popping up a lot more since you've gotten here. To be honest, you guys have made it really hard with the whole breaking all these laws.
Sorry, not sorry. We drove off the Kraken from the bay, so
I am very thankful.
Might I suggest, what if you did temporarily hire us to do something very visible that benefited the city?
Ooh, what do you have in mind?
I mean, do you have any groups of bandits that are active in the city that we could hunt down or anything like that?
that's probably just going to bring about more accusations of murder if we ended up killing
Well, I mean,
people
if
in
we
the city.
murder hobo somebody, yeah. If we go and arrest somebody, though.
Do you have any idea who's behind this, who might be after your job?
No,
One of the Zentarum, perhaps?
I don't know. The lordship stuff, it's very political, very cloak and dagger. And for someone to take on an open lord position is extremely dangerous. In fact, I think I might be the longest living one. Usually there's high turnover.
At which point,
Understandably.
Kinian says sort of through the ring, everyone knows that the power is held by the masked lords. No one in their right mind would want her position, her job.
That's so we
Right.
need to think of somebody crazy who likes cloak and dagger shit. The Viper.
She says,
And that's sort of meta because I wasn't near
Right.
to hear the voice and you didn't place it, so. But I'm getting sick of his shenanigans.
We do know the Viper is a known entity in the city. So I don't think it's too much of a leap to be like, the Viper.
Yeah, and Bon impersonated him.
And
And
then
was
got
screwed with some
immediately
guards.
tried to be arrested.
And I've seen him in the city.
a couple of times.
Yeah.
She says, the Zentarum, though they're a necessary evil for our city, I've been getting a little bit of pressure from them. But no, I mean, there's nobody we need you to take out, quote unquote. There. I like the idea, and I'll keep it in mind. I just don't think there's any... kill the Kraken. There you go. That's it.
We
people-
intend to when we find him.
Okay, so Loudmouth over here has been telling everybody about the Kraken. So now everybody's figured out why the shipping industry has went to shit. And everybody knows that Waterdeep is weak.
Who are you calling loudmouth?
You, Kinian. You're telling everybody about how scary this Kraken is, how terrifying it is. Do you know what that's going to do to our shipping, our already destroyed shipping trades and all that stuff?
Don't talk to me
gonna wanna
about
work
shipping.
With it.
I lost a fleet.
I understand that, but with that, you should know that. I mean, nobody's gonna want to work with anybody from the city if they can't port here.
That's why the city will have to reward us for our efforts. They could start by fixing my ship. The sooner the ship is fixed, the sooner we can take care of this problem.
We can make that happen. And we can maybe we can put you guys on posters or something. We'll idolize you as Kraken hunters. We need PR here.
Don't put my face on a poster. You can put
Deal.
You can put our sigil if you want. Is that all right, Manette?
Yes.
We can do that. I'm fine with that.
And when we kill the Kraken, we'll claim a deed to a property within the city for our benefit.
Preferably well below the surface.
A property with a basement.
I'll get to printing those posters right away.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You do have hookups with printing, don't you? I've seen your voice.
Every word's true.
Every word's in the mud right now.
So, aside from the whole PR issue, do you think it would be beneficial if we were to leave the city? Do you think that would help your situation for as far as the pressure you've been getting?
I think if you can at least lay low, yes. You don't have to leave, but if you do leave, it would not be a bad thing.
Why don't we form a secondary guard rank, call them the Kraken Watch, and I don't have a lot of money, but I could fund such a Kraken Watch. That way, the people see us as a source of economy for the city, as well as protection, so that our perception is more, we're here to kick butt and take names, and also we're good for your pocket.
How would you do that?
Well,
Would you? Because I mean, the Kraken is in the water. You know. So are you? If we fix your ship, which is not a big deal, I can foot the bill for that. If we fix your ship, are you going to do are you going to be protection services?
Well, I'm saying we go ahead and do the lay low or leave thing, and then we have a force of 25 people who patrol the shoreline of Waterdeep, and they keep an eye out, quote unquote, for the Kraken, and their job is to raise the alarm, to call for the Obsidian Flame or the city guard or any force at hand to deal with the Kraken.
I think that's too small a gesture for something.
Well, I mean, you got a better idea?
Yes. My head of disguise turns into a Newsies cap, and I look like Spitz. And except I have spats on.
Spats. Spits and spats.
Like on my shoes. Undercover journalism.
That can work too. I mean, none of these ideas are bad. So far, I don't think one is going to rule them all, though.
Why don't you fix our ship? We'll try to figure out who's killing you. And I'm going to go get a drink. and I walk away and I start headed for the pub.
All right. I like that. I like that idea. We can start there at least.
So, what about this this Chult thing?
What about Chol? What do you know about Chol?
She told me that she was investigating. She had other teams investigating that, and that was potentially related to the death curse that's going on.
I got you.
And I have a vested interest in that going away.
Right.
Not that I as a player, I think it's gonna help, but
Right.
Minette wants it to be a thing that's
I
gonna
think
help.
most of the people on the crew have been affected as far as at the table. Are you affected by the death curse currently? Or have you been
I've got
bitten?
the vampire
Yeah.
bit.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay.
not bad, but
It's a little off the top.
Well, for saviors of Waterdeep, if we're going to go big,
You know,
Deep
that
cities.
is true. I
burn
mean-
away the death curse, they'll love us.
So, here's what I know. There is a object created by a extremely powerful lich a long time ago called the Soulmonger. And for some reason that is has been activated. And it's not allowing restoration type magics to work anymore. We've tracked down some pretty key information to Chult in the area of Port Zaru. And we've sent a fair few people down there, and we've never gotten even a response after they've made it to the port. They've ventured out into the jungle and were never to be heard of again. I believe if I recall right, somebody even hired one of your guys' people. I heard that there was a Emerald Enclave group of goblins that got hired to go down there, and I haven't heard anything about them either.
If that's the case, we have to go to Chult.
Let us fix your ship first, and while we're fixing the ship, you can figure out what you want to do. Just lay low. She starts casting a spell to teleport, because she's not gonna fucking walk back. It's like a very long
she
way
doesn't
away.
have time for that. She's a busy lady.
And she bamps back to presumably the tower.
Is she listening on the ring?
Seems likely she's had knowledge of things that we didn't specifically tell her.
She's scrying nonstop.
That's fine. She's an ally.
Just a noisy one. That's
Yes.
all.
I hit the pub, and what is that one again?
Which one? The Lusty
Crap.
Maiden?
Is it the Lusty Maiden?
The Lucky Mooring Bell?
Like a mooring bell, yeah. And I send word to Rings to meet me at the bar.
Okay. She meets you up at the bar after a while.
I basically I'm talking to her, and I'll give her the abridged version of just what went down, and explain my shock, because I thought my reputation was protecting me, and I also call out that it seemed like a short fellow may have been spreading dissension. I heard a small voice coming through the crowd.
Yeah, I've been keeping my eye on the Viper.
I slam the table.
I think he's making a play. He's clearly working for somebody else, somebody higher in the Zentarum. I don't know who. They're in the shadows to me. Us higher ups in the Zentarum we work as cells, and we only interface with other cells when need be. And I don't know who this one is. So let me first inform you of something. I contracted some brothers and sisters to go down into Skullport after you all left, and
Were we successful?
very successful. We gathered most of the treasure we lost out of all our ships.
I start
And then
smiling and lean back and put my hands behind my head, like crossing my hands.
She reaches out and drops a bag of platinum on the table, and she says, "This is yours. I'm hiding away all of the other treasure. I fear it's the play that the Viper's going for."
He wants our fleet's cash.
Yes, and specifically all the magic items that are wrapped up in it. Lots of money there, lots of magic. So I've hidden it away. So for now, we won't talk about it.
I slide the bag of platinum into a very small, tiny bag, and it disappears.
Yeah, like the bag just so happens to fit this other bag in it, but it just like falls right through.
In my portable hole.
For now, keep an eye out for him.
I've seen him several times, but
Kill
he's
him on
slippery.
sight.
Do you... And I look down at our hands. Do you have anything, like staring at our hands,
Yeah.
that would help me prevent him from getting away? Last time we fought, he flat out disappeared mid-swing. Vanished.
She reaches at one of her many rings. She's got a ring on every finger, and she pulls off the one on her right index, and she places it on the table in front of you. And she says, "This is a ring of Hold Person. It's got 3 charges. It recharges at every dawn." And she reaches into a pocket, and she pulls out another ring, and she slips it on the finger that just lost the ring.
I take the ring and put it on.
Okay.
Is this an item that immediately I understand how it works, or is this?
No, it's
I've
going to
gotta
be
rest on it.
attunement.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it'll need attunement.
Kinian's tempted to ask her where the money is, but he doesn't want to receive the psychic damage from her response.
That's fair.
So no, I mean, I would just keep drinking with her.
Okay.
Kind of like fade to black,
Yep.
essentially.
Yep.
Just like every time he drinks.
Yeah.
Yes. Is there anything else anybody wants to do at this time?
Continue working on my armor.
Yep. So, montage. So, montage of laying low for 5 days.
I go into town every single day
Okay.
as Spitz, hawking papers and looking for a suitable new flask.
That's right.
Oh, that was great.
You're able to find one. You're able to find a very nice flask for a gold piece. Better than the one you had before.
But not as close to my heart.
Right.
I drink and sleep during the day,
Okay.
and by night I'm basically soaring as a bat,
Okay.
looking for signs of
Of the Viper.
the Viper.
Give me perception checks, please. One for each night.
Best is a 16. The dice hate me.
Okay.
16.
All right. I mean, there's a lot of people during the night. When the nightlife is hot, there's a lot of people out. And when it's cold, the streets are fairly barren, and you're not seeing the Viper anywhere, or really any suspicious activity other than the normal nefarious city deeds, right? So nothing that screams Viper, Cloak and Dagger stuff. You witness a few robberies where some brothers are, taking their loot from the town and such.
So that's seeing, but hearing I would do with advantage.
Yeah, you're. I just don't think you're gonna.
Okay.
Yeah. So the 5 days pass. Bon, what are you doing during this time? Real quick, are you exploring the city at all, or?
Yeah, I'll go out in the city. I'm gonna try to appear benefactorial, so beggars get gold coins. Somebody's laying down in the street injured. I go up to them and I heal them. Shit like that.
That really doesn't seem
Okay.
like neutral. Wink.
No, he went chaotic. Oh yeah, you're chaotic neutral, right?
No, I'm
It's the
neutral.
good aspect of it, though.
Neutral good.
Oh, I got you.
Little does he know,
Yeah.
though, this whole thing's backfiring because it's like, look at this criminal walking free, lording himself over
Yeah.
the common people.
No, you're doing some pretty good work. I want a persuasion roll, please. And if you're toting branding, whether it's a tattoo or a patch or anything like that, it will be with disadvantage.
I'm Bond. Does that count?
You're Bond, but
Well, he's got the ring.
that is true. Okay, disadvantage.
Okay.
Same team. Damn.
Well, I mean, I also think, if
Always be branding.
I think,
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think Bond. Well, I think all of us are highly known,
At
and
this
I
point, we have
glow
to be.
while I
Yeah.
walk now. So
Spats is relatively unknown.
Yeah, no one knows who Spats is.
it's either a 12 or a 1.
Oh, okay.
So 9.
So
He's the one we want out doing PR work, apparently.
I mean, he's an angel, literally.
So a 9. Holy shit! All right, so a 9. I mean, you're doing good work. You are not winning over. You're not winning the people over. But because you are wearing branding, people know that you're at least trying.
Okay.
It may be a good long-term play.
I'm
yeah.
gonna say I gave out like 50 gold worth.
Okay. So everybody else but Manette is in the city. Manette is back at the ship working. And Manette, you hear, well, first you feel it in your chest, this like rumbling. And then you hear thump, 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 thump. These extremely heavy footfalls are hitting the land near you.
So which direction are the giants running at us from?
You can't tell yet. When you go up to the top deck, you see 3 fire giants are running, and they've got thunder cannons, but they're not thunder cannons. We can get to that in a bit. They don't.
We're gonna have to.
Yeah.
They're ship cannons.
They look awfully similar to thunder cannons, or to your thunder cannon. The difference is that these glow.
Mine works.
Yeah, these glow with a red energy along these energy lines that like circle the barrel and things like that.
That looks dope.
Yeah, a couple of them are running with them in hand. One has it like holstered on its back, and they all run towards the city, and the city walls like go up to their chests. I mean, these city walls are really tall, but not for giants. This is like a house fence for them, right? So they run. And 2 of them like jump up and like climb over this wall, and the third one just kind of leaps and plants a hand and like lands on the other side. Yeah, parkour. Lands on the other side, and when it stands up and it looks around, it's looking out to the north fields, and You follow its gaze back and you don't see anything. They look extremely afraid, and they're hunkering down. They're hiding from something. And you see as it's like looking off into the distance, it starts to like drop its head down, and you see this bright silver bolt pierce its trachea in that area.
Does the bolt look familiar, like a harpoon?
No,
perhaps.
No. It's this bright silver bolt that just burns right through its neck, and you see the light of the fire giant's eyes leave it, and it falls dead on the other side of the wall. And you see like one of the fire giants like pop an eye up over the wall, and then it ducks back down. When you look back north, you see a figure cloaked in heavy armor and a really a deep set robe, riding on a adult black dragon. You see them coming out of invisibility, basically. As this
Say so, they attacked.
Yes. Unless it's greater invisibility. But anyways, so they're coming out of invisibility, and you see that they've got this really nice looking bow, and it's starting to fly by you. And you get a little bit better look, and you see it's got like this silver maw that comes out and pokes out from underneath the hood, and it starts to fly towards the city, and you see the dragon like bank upwards really quickly, and you see its claws scrape against an invisible barrier. As you know, the city of Waterdeep is protected against dragons. Dragons are not allowed in the area. They're warded, and that's what the guardians of the city do for the city. It banks upwards, and it screeches in disapproval, and it climbs higher into the sky, and it starts like banking towards the north again to make another pass. What do you want to do? Hey, thank you so much for listening. What a fantastic episode. We cannot wait for next week's episode. We hope you stick around to find out what happens next. If you want to find out more about the show, about our characters, or things like that, go check us out on dmstable.com/RWA. DM's Table has got information on how to contact us through Twitter or Facebook or things like that. Go check it out, and we'll see you out on the internet. See ya.